Hello? Hello? Just gonna go ahead and check that I am streaming. Looks like it's working. I think it's working. Hello? Hello? Okay, I think it's working now. So, um, okay, we are live. Let's go ahead and jump right into continuation of this course. All right. This is just explaining. Yeah, I think this is the managing services in Windows, so this should be pretty easy. Then we'll launch this. This just gives us a VM to play around within, so that's good. So I'm gonna kind of manage, or at least watch the stream from my phone, if that's possible. This is really cool that Coursera does this, because I'm more of a hands-on learner, so I learn a lot better when I'm actually doing it instead of just like reading about it. So see this VM after the host client was killed? That doesn't make any sense. Alright, let's try again. Okay, maybe it's working now. I just really want to do this lab because it was not working. Um, what the fuck is that? It wasn't working when I was at work today, so go ahead and read the instructions real quick. What are we doing? Okay, so we can just go. Dude, what the hell? Why does it do that? Dude, this is so annoying. Like, I know this is optional, but I just want to, like, do this lab, you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why it's just dying. Okay, maybe, okay, services. Oh God, it's so slow. Here we go. Fiddle boot. Okay, here we go. So let's go over the instructions. Columns are wider that you can see actual descriptions. Dude, why? Because I clicked out of it? Alright, well, it's optional, so I just want to get this, whatever it's called, the Google IT certification. This is just a reading to go over. And we can kind of go through it, but we're not going to be able to actually do anything, which sucks. So when you right click on the lashes, you get the menu action options. So the surfaces run start will be grayed out. Yeah. Properties menu. Yeah. Service. So this is just like a lab to go over how to start and stop services in Windows, which is cool. Um, sure, it would have been a lot of fun, but I don't know, the VM just kept dying on me. Get service, that's how um, you just get a status of all the services, and then you can also like, no, you actually type out like, okay, it's not letting me mess with it, but you can type out like a specific service that you want to um, like get a status on. So if you like, for example, did like VSS, you would just get service VSS, and then it would give you the status, the name, and the display name of that. And that's for PowerShell and Windows, which is what I was learning about in this last. It wasn't this section; it was like the section before it. But yeah, get service. And so I think this symbol is it's called the pipeline. I think it's similar to the grep. What do you call it? Well, grep's not a command, but it's like a parameter, like the grep parameter in Linux. And so, now start service. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna. See, I really want to do this lab though. That's the thing, is I actually want to do this lab. I'm gonna try running it like one more time because I actually want to do this lab. Like just reading through the notes about it like isn't very helpful, at least to me, you know. So I think so I don't have to click out of it. I'm just going to pull Coursera up on my phone and then just read along to it. Um, yeah. I have a few courses going on. I have this one's called Google IT Automation with Python. That one's pretty good. I'm almost done with the first course in it. Um, it's a lot of hands-on stuff, which is nice. Okay, so I got the instructions up. Let's go ahead and open the VM. It'll load. What? Why does it do that? It's got to be like Coursera's fault because I can't open it on my work computer either. So it's got to be their server issue or something. Okay, let's go ahead and try to pull up the services if it'll load. Hello? And then we can go through and our first step is, let's see. So we're doing the theme service, so we have to find that, which it's all alphabetical, so we can go about halfway and find T. So it's running, so the instructions say to stop. And it stopped. Just look at that. Saying, okay, so the instructions say, let's now look at the performance logs and alerts service. So P is going to be up here. Performance logs and alerts. Oh, it gives you like a little description. Oh, look at that. So this is just for like, it's practicing troubleshooting issues. So if you have like a lot of things that are just running on your PC, you can try starting or stopping them. Um, See, the instructions say many of these services can also be started or stopped through other tools in the system. For example, the service called Auto Time Zone Updater is used to set the time zone of the running system from the data obtained through the network. That's kind of interesting. So that service gets its time and date from the internet. So that's kind of neat, actually. So the instructions want me to go through the actual time and date, which should be down here. Date and time settings. So it wants me to turn that on, set time zone automatically. All right, we're done with that step. Let's see. This setting is directly to the out. So this is just showing you like another way of oh, just open SSH. Where is it? It was just here. Oh, here we go. So I bet if you stop this, it would crash, right? Like I'm assuming open SSH server. So that's what. No, no, no. This is SSH is for like it's. I learned about this. I should know this, but I think it's like connecting to other computers. So I think Windows defaults to RDP, desktop protocol. That's if you're trying to connect to another Windows machine to remotely access it. And OpenSSH, I believe, is for if you're using like a Mac or a Linux machine trying to access, um, what do you call it? Like another, like a machine that's on a different OS. So I think it's called Putty. Putty is the service that Linux uses to connect to machines with different OSs. So it's just a food for thought, I guess. So we're looking for the auto time zone. Okay, so that's at the very top. Auto time zone updater. Hit refresh. And then this thing should be running then. Or we could just click start as well. There we go, now it's running. So, um, so the instructions go over, well, as a user, it's common to use graphical user interfaces, or GUIs, to interact with the system. As a system admin, you will usually want to automate the tasks that you do, and for that you'll be using the command line. So that's PowerShell. So I'm assuming it wants me to boot that up. Yeah. Let's go ahead and bring up God, I can't fucking type. PowerShell 7. So do git, if it'll let me type. Okay, it's just taking forever. Git, hello. Oh, is it gonna crash? Oh, did I not have booted up as an admin? That's probably gonna cause an issue. So let's go ahead and run as admin. It might default to that, but it's just, you know, because we're gonna be messing with the services on this. So why is it not? Okay, git. Bro, it's not letting me type. How, dude? Just to preface this, I have a gaming laptop. So like, why didn't it provision like enough resources to run this properly? You know what I mean? Like, take 8 gigs of memory. It's all right. I'm not I'm not doing anything crazy. I just want to do the lab. You know what I mean? Just when it's provisioning resources, it probably takes like the minimum, which is probably like a safe bet. But like, yeah, the system has like 16 gigs, and what does this one have? It's got like an i7 1200 or something. Like you can take more power if you need it. Why is it? Dude, it's so weird. Alright. We did a little bit of the lab. I'm just gonna mark this as completed so we can go on to the next one because I'm just gonna be stuck here forever.
In large enterprise deployments, you'll probably have different programs serving each of the networking services that we covered in this module. In smaller setups, you may be better off having a centralized solution that handles all services. Let's look at DNS Mask, a program that provides DNS, DHCP, TFTP, and PXE services in a simple package. This will let us do some hands-on configuration of these services, even if it's not as complex as other networking solutions. Let's start by installing DNS Mask in this machine. So I'm going to type in sudo apt install DNS Mask.
So
Once we've installed DNS Mask, it's immediately enabled with the most basic functionality. It provides the services in
sorry,
a
I was
simple
typing
package.
something. I
DHCP,
need to know this.
TFTP, and PXE services.
DNS mask. DNS. That's pretty cool.
In a simple package.
Yeah, that's
this will
let
us do some hands-on configuration of these services, even if it's not as complex as other networking solutions. Let's start by installing DNS Mask in this machine. So I'm going to type in sudo apt install DNS.
Sudo gives it's like admin privileges in Linux.
Once we've installed DNS Mask,
Linux is so
immediately enabled
intuitive.
With the most basic
it's
functionality.
Great.
It provides a cache for DNS queries. This means that you can make DNS requests to it, and it'll remember the answer so your machine doesn't need to ask an external DNS server each time you make the query. In order to check this functionality, we'll use the dig command, which lets us query DNS servers and see their answers. So let's ask our DNS server running in localhost for the address of www.example.com. We do this by running dig www.example.com at localhost. The part after the
and so no error flags. Okay.
@ sign indicates which
cool.
DNS server we want to use. Here, we have the reply from our query. Our DNS server is telling us the IP address for the domain example.com. How do we know that this query was actually answered by the service the machine is running? We can run the service in debug mode so we get more information about what's going on behind the scenes. This isn't how you would normally run the service, but it's useful for understanding what's happening. So let's stop the DNS Mask service that's running and then start it in debug mode. So now I'm going to type in sudo service DNS Mask stop. Then type in sudo DNS Mask with a D flag and then pass the Q flag. By passing D and Q, we're telling DNS Mask that we want to run it in debug mode and that we want it to log the queries that we execute. When it starts, it prints in the compilation options that are enabled and the configuration files that are used. Now, we can query it again with our friendly dig command. If we run the command again, we'll get the same answer and we'll see the debug output in the DNS Mask console. So, in my second console, now, I'm going to go ahead and type in dig www.example.com at localhost. This is showing us that our DNS Mask service received the query, forwarded it to the configured DNS server, and then replied to the original machine. If we query for the same hostname again, we'll see that instead of asking the other DNS server, DNS Mask replies with the cached query. So now my second console, I'm going to type in, again, dig www.example.com at localhost. So if I hit enter, for now, a DNS mask is operating as a simple caching DNS server, but we can make it do more than that. For example, we can give it a list of host names and IPs and have this service give authoritative answers for them. You might remember that when trying to resolve a host name to an IP, there can be servers that store the information about the mappings, which can then provide the authoritative answers, while other servers will only be able to forward and delegate the queries to the server that have the information. These files have the same format as the etc host file. I created this file that lists the internal host that I want to be able to resolve. So I'm going to type in cat myhosts.
Catalog my host.text.
As you see, it's a very simple format. You just have to list which IP is associated with each host. We use the H parameter to tell us DNS mask that we want to include this list in the information being served. So I'm going to cancel this, clear. And now I'm going to type in sudo DNS mask dq h my host. Now that we have our list of hosts loaded, let's query it with dig. So now, for my second console, I'm going to type in dig oxygen.local at localhost. As DNS mask is authoritative about this host, there's nobody to forward the question to. It also lists which file it's using to get the information. Neat, right? Finally, let's see what the output looks like when we ask it for information that it doesn't have. So I'm going to type in dig hydrogen.local at localhost. We see that it replied that the authoritative servers are the root servers, but that it couldn't find any results. And what did the running DNS mask say? Since the requested name isn't in the list of hosts known to our DNS server, it forwarded the query to the configured DNS server. The reply for that was nx domain, which means non-existent domain. While DNS mask is as simple as it gets, you've now seen what a DNS server looks like in action. Cool, right?
Okay.
We've seen how to
DHCP.
use DNS mask to serve DNS queries, but as we mentioned before, DNS mask can also be used for other networking services. Let's look at how it can be used as a DHCP server. A DHCP server is usually set up on a machine or a device that has a static IP address configured to the network interface which is being used to serve the DHCP queries. That interface is then connected to the physical network that you want to configure through DHCP, which can have any number of machines on it. In real life, the DHCP server and the DHCP client usually run on two separate machines. But for this example, we'll be doing a simulation on one machine. In this machine, we have an interface called ETH_SRV that's configured to be the DHCP server's interface. So now I'm going to type in IP address show ETH_SRV. This command shows us that this interface has the 192.168.1.1 IP address. The
Most
slash
basic
24
IP
part
address.
indicates that this IP is in a network that goes from 192.168.1.0 to 192.168.1.255. The interface also has an IPv6 address configured, but we won't go into IPv6 for this example. We also have an interface called ETH_CLI, which is the interface that we'll use to simulate a client requesting an address using DHCP. This interface doesn't have an IP configured yet, so I'm going to type in IP address show ETH_CLI. We can see that this interface doesn't have an IPv4 address configured. We'll change this by using our DHCP server. To do this, we need to provide additional configuration to DNSMask. There are lots of things we can configure. We're going to use a very basic set of options. Let's look at the configuration file. So I'm going to type in cat DHCP config. The interface option tells DNSMask that it should listen for DHCP queries on the ETH_SRV interface. The bind interfaces option tells it not to listen on any other interfaces for any kind of queries. This allows us to have more than one DNSMask server running at the same time, each on its own interface. The domain option tells the clients the network's domain name and will be used for querying host names. Then we have two different DHCP options, which are additional information that will be transmitted to DHCP clients when the IP is assigned. In this case, we're telling clients what to configure as a default gateway and which DNS service should be used. There are a lot more options that we can set, but these two are the most common ones. Finally, we configure the DHCP range. This is the range of IP addresses that the DHCP server can hand out. Depending on your specific setup, you may want to reserve some of the addresses in your network for machines that need to have a static address. If you don't plan to do that, you can make the range larger, but make sure you don't include the address of the DHCP server itself. The last value in the DHCP range line is the length of the lease time for the IP address. In this case, it's 12 hours, which means that once an address is assigned to a machine, it will be reserved for that machine for those 12 hours. If the lease expires without the client renewing it, the address can be assigned to a different machine. Alright, we've gone through the configuration file. Let's tell DNSMask to start listening for queries using this config. So now I'm going to type in sudo DNSMask dqc DHCP config and then hit enter. We can see in the output that DNSMask is listening for DHCP queries on the ETH_SRV interface with the options that we set in our configuration file. Now, let's run a DHCP client on a second terminal. So I want to open up the second terminal. Now on my second terminal, I'm going to type in sudo dhc client I eth CLI and then V for verbose. We're using DHC client, which is very common DHCP client on Linux. We're telling it to run on the eth_CLI interface, and we're using the -v flag to see the full output of what's happening. Back in the networking course, we explained the whole process of DHCP client getting a DHCP lease, and here we see the packets being exchanged and how our client got the IP address 192.168.1.80. We also see that the DHCP client expects to renew the address before it expires. Let's see how our interface looks now. So now I'm going to type in IP address show eth_CLI. Our eth_CLI interface has successfully acquired an IP address. Now, let's look at what DNSMask printed when the request was made. We see the same packet exchange that we saw from the client, but DNSMask also shows that it now knows the host name of the machine with the address 192.168.1.80 because DNSMask also has DNS capabilities. This means it will also provide this as an authoritative answer for local queries. So now I'm going to type in dig at localhost instance 1. And with that, we've seen how DNSMask can act not only as a DNS server, but also as a DHCP server. This setup was a simulation to show you what you can do with DNSMask. As mentioned earlier, in real life, you would have this on separate machines, physical or virtual. If you want to test a setup like this, you would normally do that on a separate network from the production network. Remember, never test in production. We covered a lot of information in this module.
So I think that's like a Linux only thing, which is all right. but I don't plan to work in Linux as much. The thing is that Windows makes it really easy to set up end user machines and stuff. So it's like, what's the IT guy doing? Yeah, not a whole lot. I think I just got to try out Linux. I think it's like, I wonder, can you boot up Linux from, well, you can do, I can do Linode, which is actually a lot less sort of, yeah, it's like 1 cent an hour or something. Because I just want to try this stuff out. Like, watching the video is like cool and all, but if I'm not actually doing it, I'm never going to remember it. Um, 'Cause I saw Network Chuck using this, and so it's like, I don't know. And he seems to get a lot of value out of it. I do all Linux on this machine, but then I end the stream because I have to reboot, you know? 177, 168. Alright, I'm gonna blank the screen really quick. Just because I have to enter some sensitive information. Um, sheesh. Yeah, I do really want to try this out in like a practical setting. Just because like watching the video is great and all, but I'm just sitting here not doing anything interactive, and so it's like it's just not very fun. Um, what did I not put? Oh, here we go. I do really want to complete all these 3 courses by the end of the year. Um, because I'm hoping to use my tax refund to pay for the certification. God, dude, my credit card did not. You know, that's when you know Google is useless when they don't fill in your credit card information. Like, nah, fuck you. You can type it in yourself. All right, let's see. Yeah, I don't think there's anything sensitive going on now. Here we go. Create Linode. Just give me a Los Angeles server. Ubuntu 24 is fine. This is hourly 5 cents? What? Why? I mean, 4 gigabytes. We can do yeah, we can do, well, this is about 1 cent. I don't think you really don't need a lot of RAM for Linux. Oh, I see your things in chat, Lumi. Yeah, Linux does have a lot of distributions. Yeah, it's got a bunch of variations, which is great about Linux is because like you can just based off the kernel you can go and make your own Linux distribution. I think I'm just gonna stick with Ubuntu just because it's so common and it's just like super easy to work in. But if I do this, then I can kind of like play around with the distributions. There's not a whole lot. Slackware. I've heard of Kali. I've heard Kali is really good. Fedora. Debian's a good distribution as well. I haven't heard of Alpine though. So, um, actually, I'm not gonna go through that. Close that just to kind of. $12 a month isn't bad. 50 gigabytes, yeah. That's like I'm not gonna pay $1,000 for 192 gigabytes of RAM. Doesn't make any sense. Um, Password. It can be something stupid. It can be like, we'll just make it Linux. Make it easy. Linux. It doesn't matter what the root password is because it's just going to be a VM, so it doesn't really matter. Like, oh, someone hacked the VM. Like, it doesn't matter. Um, no, I don't really need a firewall. No, that should be good. We'll do that. Doesn't, oh, dude, what? I don't want something like hella difficult, like, because you're gonna be entering the root password pretty often. I mean, well, unless you run it as an admin, I guess. But should be my password be like, well, should be something I can kind of like remember. Like, um, can it be Python? Can it Python 123? Dude, what do you mean it's weak? I don't care. Dude, for fuck's sake. Linux. Uh, dude, this is like Bill Gates. How about that? Oh, Bill Gates works, but okay, Bill Gates doesn't work. So fuck me, I guess. I don't know. Overwatch 1. Overwatch 1 is the root password, I guess. Dude, what? Oh, dude, I swear to God. Yes, now the password's great. 2 gigabytes of RAM, 1 CPU core should be fine. Okay, how do we launch it? Oh, it's provisioning. Let me go and look at chat. Well, I was mostly the person when gaming with y'all, and when you got me Overwatch and all that, but when I've been involved in pre-rep trying and server for some reason. Oh yeah, yeah. No, I got pretty depressed just playing video games. So I'm glad I'm doing this. I'm glad you're hopefully doing a lot better. Yeah. But now we can talk nerdy and talk about this stuff, which is fun. I want to learn more about Linux. I don't know a lot about it, just because like I'm always in Windows and stuff. And I've been trying to mainly focus on learning about Windows, um, like troubleshooting stuff, because I want to get a promotion in my current job, and they only deal with Windows side stuff. So it's like, why learn about Linux? Well, I think Linux is great. And way better in terms of like the command line versus PowerShell. Like Linux just beats Windows out of the water. I mean, like PowerShell is not intuitive at all. Linux is. I mean, you know, like a few keywords and phrases, the syntax of it, and like you're pretty much good to go. Okay, it's running, but like I don't. Do I power off boot? But how do I launch? How do I get into CLI? Oh, SSH access? What is this, the MAC address? It's running via SSH. Do I even have SSH? I mean, like, well, we can. Oh, does they want me to boot it through PowerShell? Is that what it is? If it'll run. Um, how do you even start SSH? Like start service SSH? Like start service open SSH? Do I not? Do I? Wait. What, do you have to download it? Oh, it doesn't even come. Uh, More nonsense. Um, just do the 2022 Windows Server. Okay. So settings, system, optional features. Where's? Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's installed. You have to run it through the services and then search for OpenSSH. I'm assuming. I just want to play in Linux. Damn it. Let me look at Chabers. In most ways, I am, yeah. Got back into studying cybersecurity. It's going slowly but steadily. I love the amount of control I have in Linux, though, since my PC is like a shared project with my second mother at some point. It got 96 gigabytes of RAM. She wants to do machine learning. I mean, that would be pretty cool. Like an at-home project. 96 gigabytes of RAM for Linux. Talk about overkill. I love learning about this stuff. Right now, I'm enrolled in these three courses. There's Google IT Automation with Python, preparation for CompTIA A, and then Google IT support. I love Coursera. It's only like $60 a month, and you actually get like certificates and shit, which is great. Okay, so there's not. Why is it? I just want to like. Okay, but like, how do you? Is it launch this? Is this what it is? Did I go through all that trouble just to have it be this? Wait, is that not what it is? I literally just. Oh yeah, it doesn't show up, so you just have to kind of like. Hopefully you got it right. Login correct. Localhost login. What? Dude, why is it? Oh, why is it being weird? That's what I just did though. I don't know how to work in Linux. Well, usually like they use. See, it's like. So can I just start doing commands now? Sudo. It's not. Yeah, it's still not working. It says login correct though. Let me see. We've gone from my 6 GB laptop to 96 GB monster. It's overkill for most stuff, but I also, yeah, you run, yeah, gaming and stuff. But even 96 is a lot. That's like a professional amount of RAM. I'd be surprised if the servers at my work had 96 gigabytes, or they might, but like a lot of the servers are like print servers and like stuff like that. So I don't know if I don't know if 96 is entirely necessary. Okay, I don't know why this isn't like okay. Reboot. Yeah, reboot Linode. Just give me Linux. I don't want to go through downloading it. Just give me Linux. It's taking forever to reboot. This is a pretty cool service though. You can have like domains, so you could like create a domain. You have scripts for automating stuff. Set up servers, please ignore. Simple script to use server as a proxy server. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Alright, so apparently this is um, launch. Snap Damien. What if I just type in user? Like, will that just let me user? It says login correct, but it was like, bro, why is it asking for this like on multiple instances? Just give me what? I'm actually like so confused. It has slots for that much RAM because it's a former server PC, but has a 4070 in it. That's pretty solid. I mean, that's pretty good. Like, I mean, this laptop's only a 3060, and it's got space for 32 gigs, which I was thinking of upgrading, but I was like, I really don't need that. Do I have to download this? Is that this is just a spreadsheet? Okay. Um, how to use Linode? I'm looking up everything. How to use Linode? I have made almost no progress. Um, like I made almost like no progress in my course because I just want to create this so I can like follow along. You know what I mean? Because the lab wasn't working, and so it's like, you know, apparently this is running, but I don't understand. It's not letting me like actually do any commands. That's what I'm like confused about. TTSO. Oh, it says login incorrect. Is that what it's been saying? But like I don't. What's the localhost login? Like, does it want my user? Ryan the Gamer 51? And then my password? Is that what it's asking for? What do you mean login? Oh, dude, what the fuck? What do you mean my login's incorrect? What? Like I don't get it. Like I don't know what. It's not the MAC address. It's not the IP address. Like it's got to be something, right? Like am I missing something? Like I don't get like why it's not like just give me like I just want to go into Linux and fuck around. I don't want to like what is it asking me? Oh, dude, what do you mean log it? Bro, what is happening? This is actually crazy. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know. Like, I could watch this video, I guess. But, like, yep, I get that. Sometimes my Hack the Box courses have really weird lab things. Well, I love the labs, but it's just the labs keep crashing. Like, I don't get why it's, I don't think it's not like my side that's the issue. It's like, because I can't do it on the work computer. I can't do it on this laptop. So it's like something wrong with Coursera. But that's why I'm trying to pull this up with Linode so that I can pull up Linux and like fuck around so I can actually like where is it? Like watch these videos and like actually follow along. You know what I mean? Fuck around and find out as they say. Yeah. Yeah. That is the truth. I've already tried rebooting this, but I don't know like why is it. Alright, what is a Lish console? I kinda have an idea. Like what does Lish stand for? Okay, login ID. Okay, launch. Also connects by following these steps. You can type the username that you use to log into your Linode normally. I don't know what I set it as though. Account? Oh wait, no, I don't want to see that. Um, like, isn't it this Ryan the Gamer 51? That's what you think it would be, right? Like that's like the most probable thing. You know what I mean? Ryan, that's spelled correctly. Okay. Very carefully typing in my password. So I should. What? Sounds odd. At least the Hack the Box doesn't have problems like that usually. Yeah, I don't know what. I forget which service that Coursera uses, but Hack the Box sounds interesting. If it's free, that'd be cool to play around in. Then again, would be slightly problematic to have poorly made web service stuff on a site where they teach you hacking. That'd be a bit ironic, wouldn't it? It's like, oh yeah, this VM doesn't even work. We're gonna teach you how to hack. It's just like, hold on, you guys can't figure out your own stuff. Like, that doesn't really look too good. All right, now this thing's like, power off Linode. Fuck this node. Um, let me like try to like clone. I don't know if I want to clone. That's powered on. Okay, here we go. Maybe this is something. After you have successfully created a compute instance, there are a few initial configuration steps you should perform within your new Linux system. This includes updating your system, setting the time zone. I can't even get into it though. Like that's the problem. Before you log in, okay, connect to the instance. Alright, so we could do it through SSH, I guess. So we can launch PowerShell and then is it just the IP address? Copy the command under the access section of the computer's instance detail terminal. The command should look similar to the following, only with that. Okay. Okay, so let's try that. Power on the node. Oh shit. So the IP address, so we'll do SSH. And what is that? Root at the IP address. Okay. Root at 172.233.147.184. The authenticity can't be established. Fingerprint is the key is not known by any other names. Are you sure you want to continue connecting? Yes. Here we go. Okay, I got it. Here we go. All right. Now we can have some fun. So we can close that. And I'm going to go back to this video.
We've seen address.
So we can try the sudo apt install DNS mask. Is that how you spell it? DNS mask? Yeah. Unable to locate path. Fuck, dude. Oh, let me see. Yes and no is free, but the free stuff is quite time limited. Academy side with the courses, you can get a few basic courses for free, but at some point you might need to pay. But I can take certificate exam from it at some point. Oh, there you go. There's a like forget what it's called, but CompTIA A does a certificate for it's like Security Plus or something, which I was probably planning on. It's not going to be in the near future. It would be like so. I want to get my CompTIA A, like my normal cert, like the most basic one, by the end of the year, and then I'll probably get my Network Plus, and then I was thinking of doing like a cybersecurity course to get my um, I think it's called like Security Plus from CompTIA A, and from what I know, they're like kind of the gold standard when it comes to like getting IT jobs, apart from like getting like a college degree, which is probably better. But yeah. Okay. So did I spell it wrong? DNS mask? Sudo apt install DNS mask. Did I spell it? Is that what it is? No, I did it. I did the command right. Um, sudo apt. Oh yeah, that's okay. So yeah, we'll go ahead and update. This might take a while. See, Lumi says I'm currently going for bug bounty hunter certificate at some point, which is specialized in web application. Oh, there you go. I know there's this. I forget what the site's called. I know it's like I forget everything, but there's one site that'll just like pay you to like find bugs, um, like vulnerabilities in their website or something. It's pretty interesting. Meanwhile, here if you go niche enough, degrees don't matter, results do. I'll try to build a portfolio, but bug bounty hunting is freelance. Yeah, that's the great thing about IT is like a lot of it can be freelanced, you know. So you can like just type this DNS mask with Q. Okay, now it's installing. Yes. Hey, we did something in Linux. No VM guests are running outdated hypervisor Quinn binaries on this host. Okay, cool. Um, but yeah, a lot of it can be like you can just be a consultant, or like you said, like a bug bounty hunter, just finding bugs and vulnerabilities in like a site or like a network, and then just have the company pay you. Like we just recently at work, I heard from the IT director that they outsourced a cybersecurity company to basically like break into our network, and they did it tabletop style. So that means like you just kind of watch somebody like fake hack into you. Um, and so apparently like our IT infrastructure is so bad and our like security is just terrible that the cybersecurity company got in within like I think like an hour or something. Like they were in our network, had access to all the desktops within a really short time, and all it took was getting the credentials of one employee. Um, but anyways, the point is that that you can do that stuff for a living and just get paid, just doing stuff like that. Not even like fixing the issues, just like going in there and being like, yeah, your shit's fucked up. This is why, you know. And I think one of the main reasons is we didn't have a firewall, and also like a lot of the people at my work are like hella old, and will just like click links in emails. So you could just email like an employee at my company, and just all of them are like old and not tech savvy. So they would just click on it, and then you could just like get their information easily, which is a bad thing, which they're trying to work on right now. But it's funny that it's that easy, apparently. What's another command in Linux we can do? We can change permissions. It's like change mod. Oh, we have to specify a file, so we can go make directory. And then how do you format it? Do you just like, is it quote, is it quotes? Or is it, we just call it like new file? Is that, and then how do you can do like cat, right? Catalog? Let me look at chat. I'm very interested in penetration testing. It's always fun. Yeah, it's really like the IT director was telling me about it, and he was like, "This stuff is way above my pay grade, but it was really interesting to watch." I was like, "Yeah, I bet. Like, why didn't you invite me in? Like, you have two monitors. I'm just sitting. Like, you could invite me in and let me watch, but you know what I mean?" He's like, "Anyways, um, since my family works in cybersecurity, I've gotten to see a lot." You didn't have fire. Well, no, it's my company. Not my company. It's not my company, but the place I work at. Um, it's a small little rural clinic, you know, and so it's like there's only three people on the IT team. There's the director, the help desk guy, and then there's a lady who just orders PCs and just like services them. So he was telling me, he's like, yeah, it's like, well, you obviously we had the your normal Windows firewall, but Windows firewall is dog shit. Like it's helpful in some things, but like for like an actual like malware attack, it's not very good. you know, um, yeah, it's getting worse nowadays. Even Comma got his Discord hacked. It's surprisingly easy. It's like all it the hard part for hackers is from what I've heard is like just getting credentials. So like getting like just a little bit of access almost immediately means that you can have access to everything. Like in the tabletop demo they did, um, all it took was getting credentials for somebody on the HR payroll team who has a little bit of like admin privileges in the network, a little bit. Like it didn't even have to get someone from IT. It would just got the credentials from someone in HR, and they literally had access to the network in like an hour. Like they weren't obviously like going around like messing with them, but they just showed our director like, hey, yeah, we have access to every computer. Like we could start doing whatever we want. You know what I mean? Um, Social side, woohoo! Social engineering is a really big part. That is the biggest part. Because if you just like, if none of your employees are like, like, oh yeah, I'm not going to give up my credentials or I'm not going to click on weird links, it's like, that's like half, like prevention and social engineering is like half of, cybersecurity. The other half is like, let's install a firewall and like, you know what I mean? Anyways, trying to remember all the Linux commands I know. Cat didn't do anything. Clear. It's not doing anything. Oh no. Did I fuck it up? It's not. Alright. I mean, you can just relaunch it. It's not that. It's not that crazy. So go SSH root at whatever the IP address was. 172.233.147.184. I know I could copy and paste this, but you know, it's more fun to type it out, and it's better for me to like get like a handle on this. Um, but give me, Lumi, do you want to give me a command I can do? I'm gonna make a directory called um, dumb file txt. If I can type dumbfile.txt. Um, Catalog dumb file to just check that it's in there is a directory. All right, give me something we can mess with this directory. I'm gonna try change chmod. I forget. You put the directory. I think you put the directory like this, and then you change the permissions. You have like read, write, and then I think X. Is it X that gives you like because read and write are -R -W and then -X. I think this is the format. Can I access dump file? No such file or oh, it's dump file. Oh, okay. .txt. We got to specify it. Dumb file. Dumb file.txt. I changed it to a write permit. Well, I think you have to specify a user, right? If you're messing with directories, you can always try the command tree at first. Also, cat stands for concatenate instead of catalog. Oh, that's the way I remembered it. I think that's what the like what do you call it? The course is telling me is just like catalog. It's kind of like because it's sort of makes sense in the context of like when you do cat file, it shows you like Or is it cat dump file is a directory? Like it catalogs, kind of tells you like, oh yeah, this is a thing, you know. Anyways, concatenate. If you're messing with directories, you can always try the command tree at first. So we can go tree and then what? Dump file .txt. Does that do anything? Command tree not found, but it can be installed with snap install tree. So we can go sudo apt install tree hashtag version. Go the top one 2.1.3 plus package dash 58. It's kind of small. 5852. There we go. We have tree installed. So let's try tree on dumbfile.txt. What does that do? Dumbfile.txt. So what is, does that do something or? Oh, you have a physical. Oh, do you want to do you want to see all the notes I've taken for all these courses? Yeah. I want to see that notebook too. I want to see like what. Although if it's written in Finnish, I won't understand anything, you know. But these are my notes for this entire IT course. It is, I think 70 something pages long. It's 71. I have like tables. You know when you learned about the layers? Oh, tree lists all the contents of a directory. Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. They like all the layers, you know, like the physical, data link, transport. Yeah, I have. I think I took too many notes. These are like low voltage, like um, what do you call it? Low voltage um, tools, cable tester. I've never seen any of these, but I did, you know, put notes of it. Yeah, these are 71 pages of notes. This is a long course. I think this course is like 6 months. If you do 10 hours a week, it's six months long. Yeah. Oh, here we go. We have a. Oh, okay, we have more. There's some more commands we can do. In Linux, you can use the script command to record your commands. So what if we did script? Does that do anything? Command not found. Is it just script then? Okay, so then if we did like make directory um, file 2 dot. Can we do like weird file types? Can we do like PNG? And then we can do tree on file 2 dot PNG. File 2, 0 directory, 0 files. Nah, none of my notes are in Finnish. Touch should create an empty file, and MV should move, or yeah, MVs, yeah, move for real new files or directories. So we can do like MV. Do you do, is it the file or directory first? So we can, I think we can do dumbfile.txt. Well, doesn't this need a parameter, -r or something? Or is it like rename? It's like rm or something, isn't it? Okay, I know I went over this. There's like something else that we can install to actually like mess with the actual files themselves, and then like I forget what it's called. Oh, here we go. Task kill. No, where's the fsck command? The You don't seem to have basic commands available, so at some point I'd recommend. Yeah, definitely. I want to get like a proper Linux, but then like the stream would end if I go to like install it and then boot into Linux, which I think I'll play around with this weekend because I really enjoy like actually being in Linux and actually like watching this is like fun and all, but um, it's not super like intuitive. Not intuitive, but like I don't know. Um, where the hell are my notes on this topic? Because this is just a command cheat sheet. My current modules are on subdomain brute forcing and then one on WordPress file structure. Well, I mean, there you go. I mean, you know, I'm gonna try doing the sudo apt install DNS mask. Alright, so it's already installed. So, what's the command that he used to
Show ETH underscore SRV. This command
IP address show ETH underscore SRV? Device ETH.SRV does not exist. What do you mean? DNS mask is installed though. Like I don't get what's 70 not upgraded. Sudo apt update. We can also do sudo apt. Is it? I don't think upgrade. Does upgrade do anything? Sudo apt upgrade. Yes. Hit 30. This is fun to see. That's kind of interesting. So this version of Linux is built on Python, which makes sense. I mean, Python's just so intuitive. Like I only know a little bit of it, but it's from what I've seen just super intuitive. Oh, Nixos has like its own commands, huh? Nixos rebuild switch. Have you played around in Ubuntu? Because I know Ubuntu is the most common, so I want to learn this one just because, like, you know. I think my plan, though, if I do get hired on as an IT guy from my where I work, um, the plan would definitely be to like, um, what do you call it? Probably use Putty on Ubuntu and then just like, because I think most of the IT team has the option of working remotely, but I know a lot of them don't. Oh, at least all three of them don't. Um, but I think that would be like my go-to. Would like just have Linux and then just use Putty to, you know, um, do help desk stuff. years ago, but I currently use Nixos and Paratos. Nixos uses a language called Nix. Oh. Is that similar to any like programming languages, or is it like its own thing? Because I feel like Python and Linux are like very closely related. Maybe not, but like they're both just very um, intuitive, I guess. Because you can do like echo hello world, like the basic command, and Python is like print hello. Like this won't do anything in Linux, I don't think, but like syntax error and you're expected, yeah, token. What does print do in? Did that do anything? Command print, yeah, the print's not even found. Apt install mailcap. I could probably put like a Python thing into this, and then we can mess around in Python. I think it's related to some language, but I cannot for the life of me remember which one it is to. Oh, it does sound familiar, Nix. Yeah, it does sound familiar. Let's see, what's another, going over like just commands we could do. The fsk command, what does that do? File system name. Check all the default file systems and prompt the user on how to handle each consistency found. Simply command one. But what does it do though? That's the question. What is the fsk? Is it file system repair? Oh yeah, file system repair. To repair a file system manually in Linux, use the fsa command. Note the file system must be unmounted. Say, I think it's like umount or something to unmount the file system. Can we create a file system? Let's see. To create a soft link in bash. Yeah, there's just ln dash ask dash ask dash s. That just directs you to a different thing, I think. There are many Linux distros and some of them are built on some weird shit. That is true. That is true. That's what makes Linux great, though. That's what makes Linux great, though. To create a symbolic link. Swap space is where we allocate virtual memory on our hard drives. So, we actually parted. So parted is like a different instance, I guess. Welcome to GNU parted type help. Let's get some commands for parted. Um, let's see, help. So what is it for though? Parted command to access parted. Sudo parted dev sdb. And that's a directory, I think. That's like an example directory. Oh yeah, we can go into like different. How do you escape out of parted? Quit. That's pretty simple. So then what would we do if we... I think you can just go like slash dev, right? Slash dev is a directory. SDB. Permission denied. So wait, what do we do? Like change mod slash dev slash sdb and then dash r dash w dash x. New permissions are dash dash w, not dash dash dash. What? Give me permission to access slash dev slash sdb. Give me permission. Give me permission. Permission denied. It's like Linux is like, fuck you. No. Permission, it's like access denied. Um, it's like way up here where I for like changing permissions. Let's see, ls dev. SD devices are master. The A in SD means the device was affected by the SD carriage of devices. So, what do I change? Would it be like sudo? It's like, yeah, isn't it like sudo change mod? Because sudo gives you like permissions, not permissions, but like authority when you're doing the command. Like use sudo change mod slash dev directory and then dash x. How do you check permissions? So like I can like change to the dev. We can kill that directory. We could do that. It'll probably crash it, but you know, that's the fun part about this, is that this isn't my system. I can just fuck around in it. Mm, it's not kill. It's like, is it delete? DEL? Oh, here we go. Here's the change mods. 475. Oh yeah, there's numbers you can use for it. Wait, tree slash dev. I want to see like what's in it. A shit ton of things. 26 directories, 395 files. Wow. Look at that. All kinds of things that keep this running. You have the devlog. Wow. Right there. So we can add a directory. Is it just add? Isn't it just file permissions? Yeah, isn't that X? Oh, it's like, so if we want to do like sudo change mod slash dev, it would be like dash wrx, like that. Okay, so now we have access to that. So then we can like make directory. Is it slash dev like that? But like I want to like make like a text file and then put it in the dev directory. So how would that? Lumi, do you know how to like add a file to a pre-existing directory? I'm going over my notes and this was so long ago when I was doing this course, so I don't know where like all my, you know, notes are. I'm just like rereading it. Sudo user add slash, oh, so slash add just adds a user. You can like change the password in the sudo. Let's see. Um, oh yeah, it is RM to remove. I mean, like, Well, we can practice it with this, like make directory. Um, Linux is cool.txt, and then we can go do rm directory. Linux is cool.txt. Can I remove the? Oh, is it just rm? Linux is cool.txt. Is it? You have to do sudo rm. Sudo rm linux is cool.txt. Cannot remove. What is rm for then? We can try that. So we can go to like rm linux is cool.txt $ null ambiguous redirect. I don't know what's going on. Let's see, it's probably in Linux Fundamentals course in Hack the Box Academy. Probably. They probably got it somewhere in there. Um, I'm just messing around, just like practicing basically. To redirect the output to nothing. Oh, null doesn't do anything. Well, and how would you like? Is it? It's not delete. Delete Linux is cool. Or do I have to? Yeah, command delete. Snap info, snap name for additional versions. Ah. I know the make dir. What do you call it? Command. How do you delete a directory though? How to delete directory in Linux. Oh, rm dir. Yeah, that's basically what I had though. I just put a space there. That's what. Okay. Linux is cool.txt. And then we can do tree. Linux is cool to check. Zero directories. Error opening. Yeah, there we go. It's working. So wait, what do you want to do? Because if you want to make a file directly into a directory, the course advises it like this. Yeah, kind of. Oh, I just want to make. I want to put a file into dev. We could just try and delete dev. rm dir slash dev device or resource. Oh, you can't because it's. Well, we can delete one of these though. You can just start deleting shit. rm dir slash zfs. Oh, I fucked it up. rm dir slash zfs. What do you mean? It's right there. Touch.storage.local user will add the user to the directory. Oh yeah, you have to specify the path, right? Oh, okay. You can go touch dot slash what was the well actually we should probably make a new directory. Make dir um blue file. So now we have that, so then we can do touch. Yeah, you just want the right file path. Yeah, that's what I was forgot about. You have to specify the path to that directory. So you have to go like slash storage slash local slash user and then to the directory. So blue file. Cannot touch. Oh, is it just to local user? I think that's what it is. Touch local slash user. Well, no, it has to specify the user. Right, yeah. Um, what would the user be? Just local host? No, it's root. Yeah, it's root blue file. No such file or directory. Um, users. Yeah, the only users is root. So it's like, is it just root and then to blue file? Oh no, I mean fuck. All right, touch slash root slash blue file. Fuck, dude. I'm bad at typing. Excuse me. Excuse me. Tree. So I just made that. Uh, five directories and two files. I mean, I don't know your correct file path. Yeah, file path. It's. I was putting user. It's just root. Well, we can like create a new user. What's the command for that to create a new user? Like slash add, right? You go sudo slash add user slash add not what? What do you mean? It's literally in my notes. Don't lie to me, Linux. Like right here. No. Net user, change password. Yeah, slash add. Oh, okay, so let's go net user Ryan slash add. Okay, fine, then just install it. Like, well, why are you making me do things, Linux? Samba, Samba dash common dash bin. Yes, there we go. User is also a file directory. Oh, is it? Interesting. So we could like delete that user then. Oh, it's user add. Okay. You go like sudo user add. Right. Did that do it? And how do you check like the users? You just go like user, right? User not found. What? What are you talking about? But I just did that command to check the users on the system. So users? Oh, Ames is calling me. I don't even. He's at work though. So I didn't add Ryan because the root's still on there. So is it not sudo user add? Is it slash Ryan? And we can type in users. Hey, root's still okay. I don't know how to do Linux. Ah. uh, I'm learning though. I'm learning though. It's all very new to me. Okay, Ames is still he's still calling me. Let me text him really quick. Um, no fam, you good? All right. What else can we do? What else can we do? Yeah, because this thing wasn't using sudo user add sudo. Do I have it like typed wrong or something? Like, is that user Ryan? But when I go to users, it doesn't list Ryan. Okay. Sudo rm Ryan. Okay, so you have to use remove. Oh, that's Windows. Never mind. Never mind. That's You'll probably benefit a lot from the Hackbox Academy. Linux fundamentals, the basics and everything you need instead of like hacking basics. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm already doing Coursera. I'm already paying for it. So I'll probably I think this Google one that I'm on right now, Google IT support. So I've done these three like sections of it. So I'm doing this one and this one. This is just like the basic, super basic one. And I think I want to complete this one and then I'll probably finish up with this and then go to Python because the scripting will be pretty useful. But I do want to learn more. Um, so I'm gonna have to check out Hack the Box. That sounds interesting. Let's see. Assign a network to DNS mask. So we have DNS mask installed, so we can pull it up and ask it. Okay. Hey, listen address equals colon 127 dot 0.0.1. And so this will listen for all the IP addresses in between this range, I guess. It's the way I understand it, at least. 192.168.56.10. Command not found. Alright. Well, fuck you, Linux. uh, Hack the Box Academy. If you just go Hack the Box, it's a whole different weird bunch of things. Oh, okay. Hack the Box Academy. Alright. Gotcha. But I just think cybersecurity is really interesting. I think kind of like what you do is like, or what you want to do is seems very interesting. Retrieve the flag hacking thing. You get virtual machines you can hack and break all you want to try to find the flag. See, that sounds interesting. A whole lot more interesting than whatever I'm doing. But mainly this is just to put on my resume. You know what I mean? I just want to like have this on my resume so I could like scale up to like a better job and then like, you know, because once I do get a help desk job, a lot of times companies will pay for your like continuation of your like education, which would be pretty nice. Um, DNS mask, DNS mask dash dash test. Syntax check. Okay, all right. Turn on DCHP. You have two networks to manage. You can simply add them sequentially. Hmm. Don't fork to the background. Don't write a PID file. Don't change the user ID. Okay. All right. We're just gonna do clear, so we can get. Just want to get a clean slate. So because I want to follow along in this course, I want to get this rolling. It's not this. Module to glossary. DNS, yep, it basically translates shit that we say into something computers can understand. Internet, internal network, network time protocol, yep. Yep. Pretty basic shit. Reproduction case. Okay. Cool. Simple terms. Get familiar with DNS and DHCP. Dynamic Host Control Protocol. Um, let's do this lab. Hopefully it actually boots and doesn't like crash 500 times. Close that. Provisioning lab resources. Ugh. Ugh, man. Yeah, this is Quick Lab. This is the one that Coursera uses. I mean, it's alright. Um, it's like the lab, like the virtual instances are like really slow though. That's the main issue. Is like you'll see it's just fucking slow as hell. Okay. So what's the first step? What do you guys want me to do? Tail nano, yes. Oh, nano's the text editor. Edit the file. Oh, okay. We go. You know, install nano. That's the one I was looking for. There we go. Sudo apt upgrade. There we go. The scenario. The company you're working for has DNS masks set up to manage the DNS DHCP needs of the network. Currently, almost all the DHCP range is being used to serve dynamic IPs. Number of servers will be added to the network, and those should be configured with known IPs, so static IP addresses. Your task in this lab to modify the configuration of this DNS mask setup so that those servers always have the same IPs. To do this, not only will you need to give those servers the requested IPs, but also reduce the range for the dynamic IPs. Okay. So in production, you'll experiment with necessary changes in the machine that is simulating the network. Yeah. Mika, stop. Alright, let's try this. IP. I think it's the Windows VM like instances. They're like hell. So the Linux ones aren't that bad to be honest. Show eth serve. Right. So that's the current IP address. 192.168.1, the most basic IP address. With another virtual network interface to be used to simulate client talking to the server and requesting DNS. Okay. So we go show IP. Oh no, it's IP address show. Fuck, I can't type. I think this keyword's just hella sensitive. Like this new one I got, it's just super sensitive. Um, so there's no current IP address on it, which is what we'll be doing. Yeah, yeah. As mentioned, deploy on the network. The current config is stored in its content with the cat command. We do cat slash etc. DNS mask dot d. My company. If I can type company, I still can't type. Dot configuration default gateway. Alright. Listening. Range. DNS mask is running as Damien in the background. We can clear the status by just going, yeah, sudo service DNS mask. I want to try if that without working this one. Go sudo service DNS mask and then status. Active failed. Failed to create listening stock report. Or just failed to start up. Okay. Don't know what any of that means, but you know, let's focus on the lab, I guess. Did you get a prompt on the format lines 1 through 18? Ensure the right scene additional output. Should probably full screen this. So it wants us to stop DNS mask. Sudo service DNS mask stop. Stop right there, criminal scum. So then we can edit the configuration, go sudo nano, etc. DNS mask .d slash my company. Alright, in this file we need to add the log queries option and tell DNS mask where to log. At the end of this file. Okay. Log dash queries log facility. This is just effectively like a text editor right now. Equals slash var slash log slash DNS mask dot log and control X. Yes, you want to save that. We've made a change to the configuration file. Now we need to verify that it does what we intended to do. The first step is to verify the syntax of the file is correct. So how do we control X again? Is it? Why is it not? I can't edit this. Like I don't know what's going on. Control X. Hello? Did I fuck it up? No. So if I hit enter, okay, control X. Why? But then how do I edit? How do I get out of Nano? I find it a bit ironic that I'm currently studying subdomain brute forcing amongst other things because, yeah, related to DNS stuff, yeah. It's perfect timing. I'm learning about DNS, you're learning about how to crack into subdomains. I will be the defender of web applications, Lumi, and you'll be the attacker. Okay, let's try this again. Control X. Control X. Yes. But like me typing this isn't going, it's not a command. That's the problem. Is like, how do I exit out of nano? No, context, where is it? Read file. Oh, that's control. Oh, okay. Okay, now we're back into the commands. Okay. Sudo DNS mask dash dash test dash C etc slash DNS mask dot D dash my company conf. Fuck. Don't you love it when you like misspell something by like one letter and then it's like, ah, nah, fuck you. You gotta retype it. Dash dash test dash C slash DNS mask dot D my company dot. Cannot read. What do you mean it doesn't exist? Uh, okay. So we're going back to the start. Fuck it. Alright. Sudo service DNS mask status not running. Sudo DNS mask start. Okay. Sudo service DNS mask stop. Okay, it stopped it. So then now we can do the sudo. But I cannot type for the life of me. Kind of important for this job, if we're doing this stuff in general. It's knowing how to type, like I'm not in fucking 8th grade. Com slash that's dot com. Ah, no, I fucked it up. I keep fucking it up. Yeah, it's sudo nano slash etc slash DNS mask dot D my company dot com. That is the interface. Okay, so yeah, I did fuck it up before. That's why it was all messed up. So now we can do this command right here. Log dash queries and then down log facility equals slash var, not plus, equals slash var log slash DNS mask dot log. And go with control X, Y, and then press yes, and then enter the file name prompt. DNS. Wait, but why is it called that? Alright, so we'll call it etc slash DNS mask dot d slash like that slash fuck dot permission denied sudo change mod etc slash DNS mask dot d slash my company dash rwx. Alright, there we go. So then we have to test it. Sudo DNS mask dash dash test dash c etc slash syntax check is okay. Alright, so we're good. Bad hex content like 21 it means you have an error in the line. Okay, so now we can start it. Sudo service DNS mask start. It's working! Ta-da! Alright, now I'm looking at chat. Control X, I usually use Vim myself. I once spent over an hour on a simple lab thing because there were line changes in the text I copied. Because that changed the results of the decoding. Yeah, it's like mess up on like one line of text and you gotta go back and like, oh help, it's not working. What? What do you mean? It's enable debug logging. But it's working though. Like, right? We can do another test, right? We can do like sudo, what's the DNS mask dash dash test dash c etc slash DNS mask dot d slash my company dot conf. Yeah, syntax check is okay. It's running. The sudo service to double check DNS mask status. Yeah, it's running. So why is it? What do you mean? Like I'm confused. I don't get what. Tree? I'm so confused. DNSmask.d slash Mika, stop it. Tree command up. Okay. I don't know what's going on. I might have to just revisit this lab because or just like restart it. Because I think I like mistyped something and that might have fucked it up. Maybe. If we go into like sudo nano DNS mask dot log. Okay. Mika, stop it. Why are you whining? Huh? Why are you whining? That's just my dog. She's being very whiny. Why are you being whiny? Come here. Come here. Have I been ignoring you? Have I been ignoring you forever and ever? It's also really funny that my little brother repeatedly thinks he can bypass computer ban in this household. No, no, we're taking your PC's power cord. What are you gonna do? I can imagine being like, he's like, I want to play Fortnite, and then you're just like, well, actually, I have computer skills. I can just completely shut you out of the network. I mean, you could do that. You can literally just go to like your IP addresses, not your IP addresses, but like your network settings on your router, and like physically lock him out of like doing anything like at all. You know, it's like you just cut him off from the network, change the password. That's the thing is like when I was a kid, my parents didn't know how to change the password. They were just like, "Don't use your phone." I was like, yeah, sure, definitely. I'll definitely listen to that." As a 13-year-old kid. And then I just went on like Xfinity's website, put in like all the information from the, I think it was from the router or something, and then you can just change the password from there. That was a long time ago though. All right, I am back. I had to go put my laundry in the dryer. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna revisit this lab. I think that's, yeah. I'll just come back to it tomorrow after work. Let me look at chat really quick. It's also really funny. The husky girl, yes. Yeah, my second mother is a whole ass expert. She can do anything. We configured our several Wi-Fi's together. But also, you can't really do anything if your PC won't even turn on. Fuck you gonna do then? No amount of hacking is magically going to give your PC any power. Although strictly speaking, our house has the tools necessary to soldering new cords, which we did with my. You soldered electrical cords? That is crazy. That is actually crazy. I do know a good deal about electrical because I was very interested in that for a long time. I just can't do the work anymore, like out in the field, actually like going up on ladders and being on roofs and shit to do electrical work. So I'm trying to focus more in on this. But electrical's fun. Yeah, installing breakers, doing solar stuff. Yeah, even with batteries and stuff. Yeah, that's funny. Fuck you gonna do then? Uh, I love everything about this. I love doing like electronic repair and like doing this kind of stuff. It just kind of fascinates me, you know. It required a rear type of cord which would have cost a lot of money to order from overseas, but the pre-existing cord was too short. I mean, hey, if it works, it works. I would recommend getting that what is it called? Shrink wrap. You like put it over the wire just so it's not exposed. Like a lot of people will be like, electrical fires, they don't happen, but they really are pretty common. So we soldered a new one. I was staring at my second mother like, yeah, I guess we're never being normal with tech stuff again. Soldering's fun though. My my roommate, she had a DVD player that wasn't working, and so I soldered on a new HDMI cord. So soldering's really fun. Although I breathed in, I inhaled, I inhaled a bunch of flux. So that wasn't fun. Yeah, inhaling flux is apparently not good, which I didn't learn at the time, but I like looked it up after the fact and like it was, Google was like, yeah, you sh should not be inhaling flux. So yeah, but soldering's really fun though. I mean, a lot of things can be fixed just by soldering new joints to a new port that's not working, like on the laptop or your computer. I mean, I've heard of people fixing GPUs just from soldering on a new capacitor that just isn't working. Oh, it was made properly. Second mother has a ton of supplies for that. Our home has an office room with the strangest range of things. All right, that's it, Lumi. I'm moving in. I'm the new brother. Actually sounds hella awesome. Like just having a cybersecurity expert as a mom, having an office full of like tech stuff and soldering kits and oh, that's like the dream right there. Yeah. Same room as all my art supplies, then stationery, and then just a ton of tech stuff, including a random GPU on the floor. Well, if it's broken, you already got a soldering station. All you gotta do is get like a new capacitor for it or diodes. Although a microscope would help. But you might have that lying around, considering you have a room full of miscellaneous stuff. Okay, I'm gonna turn off this instance. Yeah. I'm gonna, I'm gonna turn off that instance of oh yeah, I have $100 remaining on that. So it shouldn't charge me, which is nice. It's the dream except for Kiddo when he wants to play but isn't allowed. Ah, let him play. Let him let him go in there. Just I mean that's where the magic happens. Then you just let a kid just like I mean you gotta have to monitor him because like you don't want him like touching the soldering iron or something or like breaking a GPU. Um, so I mean like that's where the magic happens. You know what I mean? That is where the fun happens. All right. Perfectly where it's just old. You could repurpose it into like part of a server side PC, you know? Like, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of applications for old PC hardware. I mean, shit, if you wanted to, you could just like use the GPU for like a separate instance of like Linux. You know what I mean? Like just having a dedicated PC to Linux. Or among other things. Doesn't have to be just Linux, but it's an idea. Or at the very least, you could scrap it at a scrapyard because most PC components have like some level of gold in them. So like, if you just want to like get it out, you could just you know extract it for its raw material. Also, the fans on a GPU heatsink, also pretty applicable. Some of them you can actually like take the fans off and use it for like a CPU cooler, which isn't ideal, but it's something to think about. We don't really need that though. We have some Raspberry Pi doing that shit, I think. We have several Raspberry Pi would be fun. I remember working on a couple of those for the engineering class in high school. They're neat little things, but I've heard they're very expensive nowadays. Yeah, I'm just gonna close out of this. Close out of that. Alright. It has been fun. I've gotten 5 views from the stream, which is better than what I thought. But I mean, hey, it's working. I think the other problem is I was trying to stream to YouTube Shorts, but it ended up just streaming normally, so I didn't get very much engagement, which is alright. I got some new knowledge. I got to talk to Lumi, which was fun. But I think next time I'm gonna set it up so it streams to YouTube Shorts, so it's just easier to find for people. Let's see. Oh God, fans! My PC is loud as fuck. Fans. Former supercomputer sounds like a whole washing machine. You can change them in BIOS though. You should be able to. Well, if it's a Molex, if they're like Molex connector fans, then well, even then you can change the voltage to make them go slower. They can be, but some aren't. But very nifty, especially since they're small, like palm size. Yeah, that's true. It's been very fun, and I'm really glad you sound to be doing well. Yeah, I've been doing good. Um, just trying to move up in the world, get my exam, get my certification. But yeah, we should catch up sometime. Let me know how how your thing's doing in terms of getting your bug bounty cert. 'Cause that sounds very interesting. I'd like to know more about it. All right, adios. Hasta